Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting a lot more worried about YouTube's policy. The copyright claiming I understand, but this time one of my videos was flagged for saying that it was inappropriate and therefore it has been put in an age restriction, as if you cannot view this video if you're under 18. And believe it or not, the video I made was a clip from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and with sound effects taken from another kid's game, Crash Tag Team Racing. Here's the unedited clip of My Little Pony.
What's uncool? It means uncivil, you know, bad-mannered. Exactly.
And here's the clip of the one I made.
It means uncivil, you know, bad-mannered. Exactly.
And this is the message I got from YouTube. According to the message, someone on the internet flagged this video claiming it was inappropriate and had sexual content and is put under age restriction. Now, to be fair, this isn't the first time I got flagged for this. I mean, nearly a decade ago, I was flagged for making a movie about a sport character with something showing, but back then I was an immature, bratty teenager. But for this, I was constantly asking myself, how is this sexual in any way, shape, or form? All I did was take a clip from a show and added the sound effects from a kid's game. And that was it. Nothing more. It had no sexual related content and it had no explicit material. It's just burp. I sent a message to YouTube saying that the video is flagged by mistake and it's probably by someone who was malicious. 2 days later, this was their reply. They said that while it does not violate any of their guidelines, it's still not considered appropriate for all ages, and thus it still remains as restricted. This really baffles me because burps have been a thing in most kids' media since the 80s and 90s. Even to this day, some shows use burps. But if burping is how YouTube sees as inappropriate, then let me guess, we can't show this to kids? In fact, there are hundreds of kids shows and movies that use burps like this. I mean, here are some other shows with clips about burping, and they're mainly for kids.
Like just the thought of implementing a democratic system within the confines of suburban living is...
Grandpa, lady, sing this song. Grandpa raised 5 miles long.
See, burping is totally fine for kids. Why put it in an age restriction? I remember other kids games that use burps like the aforementioned Crash Tag Team Racing, and there's a weapon in Ratchet & Clank called the Sonic Eruptor which makes a belching sound wave. And did I mention that there are 3 Skylanders who have burping as one of their primary traits? Eruptor, Wrecking Ball, and Gusto.
When I get in there, I'm gonna... Shoot! Eruptor? I can't help it, I just...
If burping is considered inappropriate for kids, then why is Marvel and DC still popular amongst kids who have a lot of violence and even tiny uses of strong language?
Shit! Language!
And why isn't Animaniacs or Pinky and the Brain banned for its innuendo and jokes about politics and the government? We even get something like this in kids' movies like The Incredibles. I mean, we have this scene. This is getting me a lot more concerned about YouTube's policy and guidelines. I'm worried about how this might affect my career as an animator on YouTube, whether I still do fan animations or for when I decide to make something original in the future. I guess all my animations will have to be squeaky clean. I guess I'm gonna have to stop taking risks. I have to do things that are overdone. I guess I have to be as superly cliched as possible. I have to include a dance party ending. I have to include a twist villain. I have to include a death fake out. Not only will that satisfy YouTube's community policies, but it might satisfy as many overprotected parents as much as possible instead of doing something enduring, groundbreaking, off the wall, or trying something new or go a little bit deeper, which might satisfy many more people, and that's what they want to keep coming back to. If this ever happened to you, tell me how you felt when it happened. For those who are about to post anything on YouTube, whether it goes against YouTube's policies or not, be cautious. I'm not saying you shouldn't post any content of your desires, but be cautious of the team behind YouTube. You'll never know what they might do to either you or the site in the future.